Hello, my name is Blossoms, and welcome to another Genshin Impact video. And today, I am showing you guys off my Qiqi build. And this one's a little bit different. I didn't really build my Qiqi like a healer, but she still heals really well. Now, I know she can absolutely heal way better than she currently is on my team. However, her heals are sufficient enough to keep the entirety of my team more than enough healed. And I kind of want to talk about that throughout this video, just kind of showing you guys that she does really strong healing even if you haven't really built her for too much healing, especially since a lot of her heals do scale off of her attack. But before we go ahead and pop into the build video there, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you actually enjoyed the video or the content. It supports the channel and I really appreciate it. Anyway, without further ado, let's show off Qiqi. Now, first and foremost, I will admit my talent levels here aren't the absolute best. I only have a 2, 5, and 3. The one I'm most concentrating on is the Adeptus Art Herald of Frost, and that is because this one is the one that, heals you over time, which is really nice. And then the Preserver of Fortune one is definitely one of the most important as well, giving you that healing based off of attack, as well as dealing some good skill damage here. I imagine once this gets higher, I'll be doing a lot more skill damage, and we'll kind of go over that in just a minute once we show off the artifacts here. But one other really important thing you're going to want to note here on Qiqi is the fact that she gives a 20% healing bonus upon triggering an elemental reaction with the Herald of Frost. So that's something you really want to keep in mind, is pairing her with elements that are going to be able to react well with her Herald of Frost, and that way you're just getting that constant healing bonus. And then also Glimpse of Arcanum as well, is that you can pop around the field, do some normal attacks real quick, and then she'll apply a Fortune Preserving Talisman, which is going to allow your teammates to heal themselves while she's off the field. And just to keep in mind, this only lasts 30 seconds, or you can only do this once every 30 seconds. That way, you don't have to keep her on the field all the time once you apply one. And then I will admit, I do have a C1 Qiqi. I don't know how that really happened. We just got lucky, I guess, and we got a C1 Qiqi. And this is pretty darn good. It regenerates energy for every opponent that the Herald of Frost hits, while they have a fortune preserving talisman applied. This really, really helps with the energy generation, but you're still going to want to be focusing on some energy recharge for her, as it really isn't that much. So, as for the artifacts here, you might be like, whoa, all right, there's no healing bonus artifacts here. Yes, I've got the Gladiator's Finale and the Blizzard Strayer set on her, and I might even be considering doing something like the two-piece Royal Plume set, as that works really well as well. So I might do something like the Flower with the cryo damage, and then the Feather in the Royal Plume, and then that way I'd be getting more damage on my ults. However, I did want the attack percent just because that does scale with their healing a little bit, and, do some more damage as well. That way, it was kind of like a middle between both of, healing or dealing damage. It's like, well, why not both? And a lot of you might be going, well, why aren't you using the two-piece maiden set? And honestly, yes, you can go that route, and Qiqi's going to be healing like 6k per tick if you do it right with that kind of build, if you go like a full healing Qiqi, which is really good, don't get me wrong. However, you just kind of don't need it. And I'll show you just how much healing my Qiqi does. Her Herald of Frost deals about like 2300, and so does her Q. Whenever my allies hit people marked by the talisman, they generate about 2300 on those hits. So it's pretty darn substantial, and we'll just see how quickly we can get somebody's health up here in just a moment. But bear with me on the artifact section for a moment. If you're building your Qiqi like this, I think you should be building her more as a DPS in mind rather than the actual healing function. As for the main stats for the artifacts here, I'm going attack percent, cryo damage bonus, and crit rate. So yes, pretty much like a DPS. It's not that crazy. But the substats you're really going to want to focus on here are going to be attack percent, as well as energy recharge, as well as crit rate and crit damage. And energy recharge, big time. I have a lot of good energy recharge substats here, which are really helping out, as well as some good crit rate and crit damage stuff that is going to be helping me out. But attack percent, crit rate, and crit damage, as well as energy recharge, would be the ones you want to focus on the most, especially considering the fact that healing does scale off of her attack. So you are going to want to shoot that as high as you can, and that's going to really help out your healing when you're building her more as like that DPS oriented style. As for weapons for Qiqi, personally I'm using Skyward Blade just because it's absolutely nuts on her. It gives her a little bit of crit rate, increases movement speed and attack speed by 10% when you use her Q, which is really nice. And then obviously this energy recharge substat is just so huge. It helps out a ton. And there are absolutely fantastic options for her than the 4-star category. Like Festering Desire is really good. It has a really high energy recharge substat, as well as increase the actual damage of the Herald of Frost and the crit rate of it, which is really good on her. Do not underrate that, honestly. I've been kind of thinking about going from the 5-star. The only thing keeping me on the 5-star is obviously the insane base attack stats that this is going to have compared to something like Festering Desire. But for those of you who don't have something like Skyward Blade, Festering Desire is probably going to be your best option. Things like Sacrificial Sword are also going to be a pretty good option, but do keep in mind its passive does not activate if she is not on the field. She has to be on the field for that passive to activate. And then things like the Favonius Sword are also another good option, but I think overall you're really going to want the energy recharge substat in order to guarantee that you're getting that Q as fast as possible. Yes, you could go with something like an attack percent substat, but I really don't think it's as valuable as something like an energy recharge substat on Qiqi. And I have C1, and I'm still kind of hurting for some of the energy on her Q. As for the attributes for Qiqi, you'll see I only have her at level 60 here. I do plan on getting her up in the future as her healing is insane and extremely valuable. I got that 1500 attack. Then as we go in, I've got her at 43% crit rate and 87% crit damage, so nothing too crazy there. That'll obviously come as I, get better artifacts for her in the future for the crit rate and crit damage stuff. But my energy recharge is through the roof here. I have almost 200%, so I'm getting her Q very consistently, especially considering the fact that I have the C1. And if you don't have her C1, then I think you need to have energy recharge in that 180 to 200% range in order to make sure you're getting your Q as fast as possible. And that is really going to make it the most consistent. And then you see here at the cryo damage bonus, I have 61.6%, guaranteeing me to do that much more damage. Anyway, I know that was a little quick, but let's go ahead and show her off in action. We'll go ahead and show off just how much healing she can actually do with her E and her Q, just to show you guys that you really don't need to go ahead and build her out for healing as much as you might think. Alright, I've got the whole squad pretty messed up here, so let's just give you guys an idea how much she can do with her healing with like something like her E here. Pop out Xing Shou's at low health, just kind of see the ticks here so you get an idea how much healing she's doing. 2300 isn't too bad, and as I said, do remember she does have that passive for when this creates an elemental reaction. It's going to get a 20% healing bonus there, which is really darn good. And you see that didn't quite get him up to the full health, but it's definitely not bad healing. And you could imagine when you're constantly applying the fortune preserving talismans and whatnot that you are going to go ahead and just kind of get that healing done regardless of whether the E is actually completing it. But let's go ahead and show off what it looks like when you actually do apply the fortune preserving talisman. So we're going to go in, jump in on the Pyro Regicide here. We're going to use Qiqi's E and Qiqi's Q, and we're going to see just how much we can actually heal Xiao when he's this low health. We're not going to try and kill it or anything, don't worry. But also note here, my Xiao here is 20k HP. That's just because I've gotten some weird substats on him with some HP percent, and honestly, I'm not complaining too much. It does help with his Q, but it isn't ideal. But that's not the point. We're going to see just how much we can actually heal such a high health character. Alright, jump in here. And we'll go ahead and apply Qiqi's E and Q. And then we'll go ahead and just get Xiao out here. And oh my gosh, look at that. He's at full health. That didn't take very long. That was pretty darn easy, if you ask me. So yeah. Maybe we can get her out here, get another little talisman on there. Let's just get Xinyan to full health while we're at it. Oh wow, that was really easy. That was really easy to get everybody to full health there. And we have no healing bonus on our Qiqi, so just consider that one. So hopefully I've debunked your woes a little bit on whether she really needs the healing bonus there or not. And I just kind of wanted to show off her damage alongside of it. Like her E here is dealing like 1300, almost 2k, which is pretty darn nice on some crits. You definitely can't complain about that too much. It's definitely some nice damage, and when you do something like the swirl there, you can make it do a little bit more, which is really darn nice as well. Definitely augments your damage in a positive way. And then her Q here is also dealing some pretty solid damage. I'm sure you could see it during the Pyro Regisvine fight there, just to keep in mind. And you see my Q is almost full there just from that little interaction there. And, dealing with the Pyro Regisvine just a little bit. So we are consistently getting that Q despite the fact it having such a high energy cost. So those are things you want to consider. And I just kind of wanted to show you guys my Qiqi build. Yes, you can do something like the 2-piece maiden set or the 4-piece maiden set if you really want to go in on the healing, and you will heal your team without a doubt way more than they will ever need. But I wanted to show you guys that you can build Qiqi kind of like a sub DPS or DPS to where she's dealing some solid damage, and your team is still going to have more than enough healing that they'll just be kept alive. I almost have nobody ever die when I have Qiqi on the team, and it's kind of crazy. So hopefully that was good enough to go ahead and show you guys that. But anyway, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and maybe you'll be influenced to build your Qiqi kind of like how I have mine, rather than a full support or healing build Qiqi. Getting the healing builds of like the 6k ticks is really fun, but it really isn't necessary when your characters are only rocking around 20k or to 30k HP. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and comment below your thoughts on this kind of Qiqi build and what you personally prefer. But my name's Blossoms, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace.